here's the thing, we always talk about manifesting the things that we want, right? Like the good things, like the money, the house, the car, the wealth, the 7 figures, the yada, yada, yada. But we don't talk about what happens when you manifest the negative thing you weren't paying attention to, or just speaking negatively because you just thought, well, that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way it always has been. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just coming to you with a short and sweet video. I want to talk to you guys about minding what you say and being careful about speaking things into existence. I have a prime example. I mentioned it on a previous video, but we're going to get into the details on this video, but more so specifically about minding what you say. So before we get started, let's touch base on some positive things. What I'm currently listening to, playlist, chill hop. I love chill hop because it's so relaxing. No, this is not a sponsored video. I just want to share what I'm listening to. So chill hop, more specifically, Endless Sundays. It is so relaxing. When I am home and when I'm at work. So when I'm at work, we play just kind of jazz lo-fi music in the background just to keep it relaxing and light, especially when we have clients in the office. And even when we don't, sometimes I just play it for myself. But then when I'm home, I've started playing it at home because it's a great way to wind down. I've always loved lo-fi. Lo-fi is just like my go-to when I want to relax, but specifically right now I'm listening to this playlist called Endless Sundays, so check it out. I have this thing about, like, if I'm thinking, like I have a lot of thoughts, but I don't want words, I don't want songs with lyrics, then I will play just lo-fi because it's just music, but it's not corny. Like for me, I don't really care for the piano music or the traditional cafe playlist. So that's why I gravitate towards lo-fi, just because it's got a little bit of a hip hop beat, but it's mixed with jazz. So I love that. And so either if I've got a lot on my mind, or from writing, or from winding down. So either I'll play it in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, but I don't want any lyrics because I don't want anything distracting me, especially negative. Like, you're not gonna see me, one, I'm not a fan of trap, but you're definitely not gonna catch me listening to trap first thing in the morning. That's just not the right way to get my day started. But then also when I'm writing, if I'm journaling, then that's another thing. I don't want to be distracted by lyrics, so I play lo-fi. So just something I wanted to share if you're looking for new music or looking for ways to relax, because sometimes I'll play it at night to wind down, just to quiet my atmosphere. I suggest you check out that playlist. All right, now let's get into the video. So I think, and I did take some notes, chat with, it can be sweet and simple and to the point. So I would err to say that most people, or, you know, because I don't want to stick anyone in a box and say just millennials or Gen Zs or even the generation before me, my parents. I don't want to say that most people know this, but I think it's becoming a little bit more common nowadays. You definitely hear it in the church. So the long version, and I'm going to screw this up, there's a verse in the Bible that says something about speaking life and death over yourself, that the power is in the tongue. That's the more traditional biblical version. The short version is speaking things into existence, and that's more of a universal principle. Be careful what you say, y'all. Be careful. And I know this well. It goes back to being positive about affirmations. And even if you don't see it right now at this moment, still speaking it the way you want to see it, the way you would like to see it, because eventually it becomes those things. It will become that. So whether it's something over yourself, whether it's something over your situation like your finances, whether it's over your job, promotion, all of that matters. So prime example, I mentioned on the previous video that I'm a trainer. I also mentioned on the previous video that I am currently dealing with an injury and cannot teach right now. And more specifically, I'm a fitness instructor. So I teach dance fitness. So prior to the pandemic, teaching a lot, 6 days a week, blah, 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 and looking good, the fittest I've ever been, but I've never had abs. And I will say historically, even before teaching, abs was just something I didn't care to exercise or work on because it's not enjoyable, at least not for me. And then especially if it's flat, it's a mat or floor workout. I said flat. If it's a mat or floor workout and it comes to crunchies or bicycles, that hurts my neck. I have a straight neck. I don't have to see in my neck like I need to, so that's actually something I'm being seen for right now. And it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable as heck. So I just don't like it, didn't do it. And, you know, I would have other trainers or other friends, especially my sisters, say, well, if you want abs, if you want to get rid of your stomach, you're going to have to do ab work. And I'm just like, I forgot another way. Like at one point, I was trying to spot train. Spot training doesn't work. You need to work everything, right? And eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm slimming up overall because I was doing so much cardio. I was just like, eventually the abs will come. Plus abs are made in the kitchen. I was eating very well. I was practically a vegan. And I say practically because every once in a while I would have fish. But for the most part, I ate pretty straight to a vegan diet, like no cheese, but I did do eggs. Anyway, that's a separate video. So I was eating well, so I was just like, you know, abs are made in the kitchen, so I'm just gonna eat well, I'm gonna keep up with my cardio. I would do weights maybe 2 to 3 times a week, but I was doing cardio like 6 times a week because that's how many classes I had, and sometimes I was teaching doubles. So overall, I slimmed down, but I had this habit of saying, like if someone said, yeah, you know, you need to work your abs, or if they would say, hey, to support yourself, engage your abs, I would say, yeah, I know I have a weak core. I need to do better. Sometimes I didn't even say I need to do better. I would just say, yeah, I know I have a weak core. That was my go-to for everything, for any excuse, especially when it came to my back. If there was a week where, you know what, I just overworked it and I needed to take a break, or maybe I threw out my bag and I was wearing a back brace to get around, like for work. Again, I would hear somebody say, you need to engage your core, you need to work out your abs. And I would say, yeah, I know I have a weak core. I have been saying this for so long that it wasn't something I was being intentional about speaking over myself. I just felt like I was speaking my reality. Like I knew it was something about myself that was, you know, it was my reality. It was what it was, right? I thought I was being honest. But my reality became truth. And I really did speak that into existence. Fast forward to today, where we are currently, I have put so much strain on my back, with my back trying to support my weight, trying to support me through teaching, that my back said, no more. We not doing this. Go figure it out. So, short story, I would say so I had a week in November where I took off for a week, maybe two, to rest because I began throughout my back. So I was doing regular with my 9 to 5, but no teaching dance classes, and recovered. But then between like December through April, I was throwing out my back more regularly. And I don't even know if throwing it out is the right word, but it was locking up on me. And so it could be like Wednesday, I'm teaching a class. By the time my class is over, I am spent, I am done, I cannot move. Like, it's time for me to eat and eat very quickly, or find a leftover or something I can make, because I'm not gonna be able to stand on my feet. I have stairs, I have to go upstairs and go straight to bed. Shower as safely as I possibly can without falling, and go straight to bed. And this was coming way too common. Even on days where I might not have to teach a class, where I'm going shopping at Costco and I have to, what's it called? Bring in all the food. Then I have to food prep. Being on my feet for that amount of hours, my back would say, yep, no more, we're done. Hold on a second, guys. I want to make sure my battery's not dying. And it is. So we're going to try to get in as much as we can in a minute and 30 seconds. And so I was just like, this is too much. I had some sciatica flare up on my left side. In the past, I've experienced it on my right. Again, take care of myself, it goes away. I had never experienced it on my left. And it was like my hip and my back were talking to each other. They just tag teamed the hell out of me. And I had to take a break. I had to say, okay, that's it. No mas. So I canceled classes immediately. I sought out a chiro. The first chiro just gave me a consult. He didn't feel comfortable adjusting me. He suggested I reach out to a pelvic floor physical therapist. This particular therapist actually wasn't a specialty in pelvic floor therapy, but she doubled as a general physical therapist and a chiro, which I think is amazing. I didn't know you could do both, and I'm so glad that she does both. She is a doctor and she doubles as both, and it's amazing. Like, getting the physical therapy and the adjustments, like A1. So I've been seeing her. Okay, hey, we are back. As you can see, today is a new day. I am in different clothes. I ran out of memory space, so we're just gonna pick it up where we left off. So yeah, my chiro physical therapist, she is fantastic. I can't speak enough about Dr. Joy, and she's truly a joy. The crazy thing though in all of this is the irony. I wouldn't do ab workouts on my own. Now I gotta pay somebody to force me to do ab workouts as a part of my physical therapy. Why? Like, I'm annoyed that I'm having to learn this particular lesson. Mind you, I already understand this concept. I have used this concept over and over as far as being positive, being very intentional about my words, my affirmations, and I have manifested things that I have wanted and desired. But why did I have to manifest this nonsense, yo? Like, I'm annoyed with myself because it's not that I'm only paying someone to show me how to engage my core, which they're ab workouts. That way I can support my back. Now I've lost, in addition, now I've lost revenue with my small business. This is a small dance company. I have not taught since April. And I'm losing more money because I'm now paying for this additional service that I wasn't using before in order to take care of myself. So, that's loss of revenue and loss of just regular monthly income for something I wouldn't normally pay for. So I am truly kicking myself for not being more careful, more mindful about what I say. And I took a few notes because I wanted to be clear on why this is so important. So yeah, that's outgoing money. And so And then another thing with your health is a big deal. You know, you could say some nonsense over, which I don't think you should, but like over your car, over materialistic things. But to speak crap over your body, listen, nah, no, nada, none of that. Don't do it. Like, it's just not worth it. So I'm definitely learning a big lesson here. And then, you know, I was speaking a limiting belief. You know, maybe it would have taken me some years to actually get abs, but I think because I hadn't had them for so long and was just used to having this layer of fat around my core, although I'm hella fit and I have amazing test results when it comes to my health, I think I just kind of sided with, I'm never gonna have them. You know, so I chopped it up to, I have a weak core. It is what it is. Like, no, why was I saying that? Because as much as I was saying that, I was also speaking, I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I'm for damn sure healthy. I'm still waiting for the wealth to get here. But that's coming, that's going to come, it's coming along. So why in the midst of all of that would I also speak, oh, I have a weak core? What? Like, when I really sat and thought about the position I was in, because I had time, I was on bed rest for like a week because I was in so much excruciating pain. It was hard to walk. It almost felt like my hip was popping out of my socket when walking. I was in so much pain. So I had time to think about this shit. Excuse my language. Like, I was mad. I'm like, why? Why did I do that? I know better. And even when I finally got the lesson, like, because, you know, I knew this stuff from church, growing up in the church with my parents, as far as like power lies in, you know, lies in the tongue, you know, or life and death lies in the power of the tongue. Like that I knew, but it wasn't until I learned universal principles that some of those concepts from the Bible actually started making more sense to me. You know, so once I got the lesson and I learned it and I started using it, why didn't I change my speech for this? Why didn't I start saying, I have a strong core, I am supported, my back is healthy and well, my hips function the way they're supposed to function because my core is engaged, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I build a strong core every day. Why wasn't I saying those things? Why wasn't I saying my abs are coming in and I eat the right things daily in order to be healthy? Like, you know, I was doing the things, but why wasn't I speaking the things so they would match? And really, I wasn't doing things because I was kind of skipping my ab workouts. So I tell you, learn from me. Don't learn this hard lesson. If you have a similar experience and you've already learned this lesson, share it below. Like, so here's the thing, we always talk about manifesting the things that we want, right? Like the good things, like the money, the house, the car, the wealth, the 7 figures, the yada, yada, yada. But we don't talk about what happens when you manifest the negative thing you weren't paying attention to, or just speaking negatively because you just thought, well, that's the way it is. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way it always has been. Mind you, excuse me. Mind you, you could change it, right? You can change that. So why don't we talk about the negative stuff that we've manifested so we can teach others, and so we can say, hey, this was the lesson I got out of it, you know? So we need to do more of that. So please share below. Like, even if it wasn't health, if it was that man, that girl you have no business being with, and you said, I just have to have them, and then you realize in hindsight, you didn't check in with your inner man about this particular choice. You didn't listen to the mind, and you listened to the heart with the lust. Or you didn't check in with your God, whoever you believe in. You didn't check in with your creator to say, hey, is this choice okay for me? You did it, and you got something that was not what was within alignment with you, right? So let's talk about those negative manifestations. And I think it's important to talk about them, not so we're spreading negativity, but so we're spreading the lesson. Because it's great hearing the lesson about the wealth or about the brand new car, about the brand new house. Like, I manifested my loft. I love my place, and I was very dogmatic about it. I was very specific, and I got everything on my list. I was intentional about that thing, y'all. But what happens when we're also speaking into existence the negative things? What's that outcome? That way we can learn from it and keep growing, keep evolving, keep changing, and continuing to be an example for others. One of the things that I'm actually currently learning in this season, that a lot of times what I've learned or what I am learning is not always for me, it's for somebody else. So if you got a lesson you like to share, please comment below. Let's talk about it. Let's all learn together. All right, cool. So I'm not going to keep talking because I think I've made my point. I wanted to just expound on limiting beliefs and encourage you to change that, as I am currently encouraging myself, and trying to look for negative patterns that I might have of what I've been saying for too long, so I can change that negative pattern. Sometimes it's all of your life before you realize, oh, I've been saying this for way too damn long. Let me change that. And for me, that was my ass. So, what am I reading right now? I am reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. Dope book. I'm about to do my second reading. Actually, for me, it's actually on Audible, so I listen to it this time. I'm still old school where I like to buy my books. I like to physically touch them. I want to highlight. I want to circle. I want to look up a word I don't understand. So I still do both. Matter of fact, I just got a new book in last week, and it's a health book. And we'll probably talk about that particular topic. Fibroids, endometriosis. Yeah, we will get to this book, but I want to read a good bit of it before we start talking about it, so I can recommend this book. Anyway, Atomic Habits, James Clear. Check him out. That book is amazing. You will learn so many tips and tricks about how to change your habits, but also you'll do some inner work to realize how you created that habit in the first place and how to break bad cycles. When I say this book is dense and powerful and empowering, knowing that you can change those habits that aren't good for you, this book is good. Like, I'm probably gonna read it at least 2 more times, because you're not gonna remember it all. When I say it's dense, she thick. And I don't necessarily mean the volume of the book, I just mean the volume of the knowledge and the tips and things that you can grow from. So I encourage you guys to check that out. All right, until next time, peace. See y'all later. Oh, and one last thing. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to heal. Like, that too. So like, when I say my classes have been on hold indefinitely, like, another reason. This is why getting this lesson is so important. If you can learn from me, please do. Don't do what Angelica did. You hear me? Okay, I'm out. Bye.